Climate change is a global issue, but it presents us with some really local problems. So our agricultural productivity as a country and a region will drop when temperatures rise, and if we don't act within 10 or 15 years, then we will reach 6 degrees warmer temperatures than pre-industrial levels by 2100. And it's scary for us as young people and as a region because of all of the impacts that it faces. As well as that, we're a really diverse city, and we're really lucky to be a diverse city. But that means that the countries that a lot of people are from, especially in the global south, are at a far greater risk from climate change than we are. And we need to remember that when we act on climate change. We must remember the privilege that we have as a country in the global north as opposed to the global south. The recent temperature spikes should definitely scare us, especially as young people, because they're just going to increase throughout our lifetime. They kill people. Our agriculture fails to adapt to it, plants die, and then there's food shortages, which affects people. All of these issues affect people in very real ways, and we need to wake up to that and act on it. I don't think that HS2 is the right way to solve the climate crisis. It would be better to invest our money in increasing rural transport, especially rural public transport, instead of just improving a connection between Birmingham and London, which only cuts off 15 minutes anyway. What we need is better trains in the north of the country, better trains that go from east to west. We need better buses so that people can have intercity travel in buses instead of cars, and those things would have a much greater impact than HS2.
Vote tactically for our climate and our future.
Groups like Sustainability West Midlands are good, and they provide us with real action and policies for the climate crisis. But the problem is that no group so far have been radical enough when it comes to it.
Climate change is a war of the rich against the poor. Climate change is a war
of the rich against the poor.
Climate change is a war
Of the rich against the poor.
Climate change is a war
Of the rich against the poor.
When we look at the science, we have 10 years to act. We need to drastically cut our emissions in 10 years. So we need to be making a plan right now, regardless of our party politics, regardless of left or right. We need to make a plan to tackle climate change right now that will be implemented as soon as possible to decrease emissions as soon as possible.
You know, we say climate change is a problem. We're out in the streets screaming, climate change is a problem, we need to solve it. And they turn around and blame us. You know, they turn around and blame individual consumers. You're not driving, diesel or petrol. I can't remember which one's supposed to be more helpful. All this stuff. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter.
In the West Midlands, and especially Birmingham, transport is a major emitter of greenhouse gases. So it links to what I said earlier. We need to improve our public transport massively. We need to invest in buses, in rail, in tram lines. We need to have regional and local train networks and local train stations. We need better cycle paths and better cycle access for people. And we need better walkways as well, so that people feel safe walking from A to B.
When the air we breathe is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When the air we breathe is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When the water we drink is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back.
Sadly, I don't think that the damage that has been done is reversible, but we can prevent further changes to our environment. If we act now with the urgency that's required, then we can do something to stop the climate crisis. We can also do things like replanting natural wildlife, which would make a massive difference. But we need to act now. The non-partisan Green New Deal provides a really good way of doing that. We need to follow the principles set out in it. I think it's really inspiring that young people, especially across the world, have gone on climate strike to raise awareness about this issue. What we need now is for more people to join us, especially in raising awareness to our governments and businesses, that we need to act now, because this is your lives that are being affected. It's all of us. Climate change doesn't discriminate. but it does affect us, and it is affecting us right now. In the global south, people are dying because of our actions. Women and children are being forced to flee from countries because of rising sea levels that are caused by our emissions. We need to take responsibility for that and act urgently.